Let us begin with our breath. In a comfortable seated position, draw your eyes closed and notice the rhythm and pace of your breath. Slowly start to deepen your inhalations and elongate your exhalations. Notice where you may be holding tension and soften into those areas of your body. On your next in-breath, feel your belly expand. And on your next out-breath, feel your belly contract. When you're ready, open your eyes. Inhale your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, release. Inhale your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, release. Draw circles with your neck here in one direction, slowly and gently. And then to bring balance into your practice, draw circles in the opposite direction, slowly and gently. Come back to center. Inhale your arms up over your head, palms come to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale your arms up, release your hands down by your sides. Ground your right palm firmly on your mat. Inhale your left hand up and over towards the right side. Breathe deeply into the left side of your body. On your next exhale, release your left arm down to your left side. Ground your left palm on your mat. Inhale your right arm up and over towards your left side. Feel the space that you're creating on the right side of your body and breathe. On your next exhale, release your right palm down to the mat. Inhale your arms up. For a twist, exhale, rest your right palm on your left knee and your left palm finds release on the floor behind you. Gaze either over your left shoulder or in the direction of your heart. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, your left palm rests on your right knee and the right palm finds support on the floor behind you. Inhale your arms up over your head. Bring your palms to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release your hands down on the floor in front of you and begin to walk your palms forward until it is a comfortable stretch for you, creating space in your hips. Bring your attention back to your breath. On your next inhale, walk your hands back towards your legs. And if you are sitting in this relatively easy pose, send your back leg to the front and your front leg to the back, incorporating balance. Walk your hands forward till it is comfortable for you. Release your head down and breathe. Allow gravity to do the work here with each exhale. When you're ready, lift your head, walk your hands back towards your legs. We'll transition to our hands and knees, finding our tabletop position. Your toes can be tucked or untucked. Your knees directly in line with your hips, your shoulders in line with your wrist. Take an inhale, drop your belly towards the floor, lift your heart. Exhale, push the mat away from you, draw your belly in. Inhale, tailbone lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, push the mat away from you, Draw your belly in. One more cycle. Inhale for cat. Exhale for cow pose. Come back to a neutral spine. Walk your hands about a palm print forward. Tuck your toes. Send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Bring a bend into your knees as we begin to awaken your hamstrings. Ground your palms down into the mat. Pedal out your feet by lifting one heel and extending the opposite heel towards the ground, taking that movement a couple times on both sides. Come back to your breath. Take an inhale. Exhale, walk your right foot forward and place it in between your palms. Release your left knee to the mat. Ensure there is a 90-degree angle in your right knee, so your knee is directly over your ankle. Once you find alignment, you can stay here or oscillate in and out of this pose. Move with your breath at your pace. As you move in and out of this low runner's lunge, imagine sending breath down into your hips. On your next shift forward, take a pause, and then shift back just a little bit to create space to walk your right foot on the right side of your mat and your right hand on the inside of your right foot. Your toe and your knee should be pointing in the same direction. You can stay here or begin to oscillate in and out of the pose as we continue the work of opening our hips. Another option to go deeper into this pose is by bringing your forearms down to the mat. Again, ensuring your toes and knee are pointing in the same direction. Listen to your body. If this is too much, gently come back out. Come back to being supported by your palms. Gently walk your right foot back in between your hands. Shift your hips back. Lengthen out your front leg for half splits. Your back knee and your hip are in a vertical line, your toes pointing up towards the ceiling or back towards your nose. Find your breath. Feel the stretch. Place a slight bend in your knee if that's more comfortable in your body. Come back to your breath. On your next inhale, walk your hands forward. Tuck your back toes under, plant your palms on your mat. Shift your hips up and back. Bring your right foot to meet your left on your mat. Downward facing dog. You can pedal out your feet or lift both heels off of the mat. Any organic movement that feels good in your body. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Step your left foot in between your palms. Release your back knee down. Find alignment in your front knee. Your toes are pointing forward. And when you're ready, you begin to move with your breath in and out of this low runner's lunge. Shift forward, take a pause, and then shift it back. Walk your left foot to the left side of your mat. Bring your left hand on the inside of your left foot. And choose to pulse in and out of this pose if you'd like. You can come down to your forearms for a deeper stretch if that feels good in your body. Come back to your palms. Walk your left foot back in the center of your mat. Inhale. On your next exhale, shift your hips back. Lengthen your front leg. Your back knee and hip are in a vertical line. Your toes are pointing up or back towards your nose. If it's comfortable for you, you can bring a bend in your knee and bring your attention back to your breath. On your next exhale, walk your hands forward. Tuck your toes, send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, release them to the mat. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, release them to the mat. Walk your hands to meet your feet and your feet to meet your hands, and find a forward fold posture. You can grab opposite elbows if you'd like. Allow gravity to do the work here in this full body posterior stretch and the spinal decompression. Come back to your breath. Release your arms down. Ground your palms on your mat. Step your feet back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale and an exhale. And pedal out your feet or take any organic movements here. On your next exhale, walk your right foot in between your palms. Release your left knee down, coming back into your low runner's lunge. You can stay in this stagnant pose or you can choose to oscillate. We're here for a few rounds of breath. Tuck your toes, plant your palms, send your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Step your left leg forward, release your back knee down. Find 90 degrees in your front leg. Again, you can stay in this pose or you can pulse in and out. We're here for a few rounds of breath. Tuck your toes, send your hips up and back as we move through downward facing dog. Exhale, come to your hands and knees. Your toes to touch. Your knees can stay hip width distance or you can bring them to the outer edges of your mat. Shift your hips back for child's pose. Your arms extended out in front of you or crossed under your forehead for extra support. Shift forward back through tabletop. Place the tops of your feet flat on the mat. Walk your hands about a palm print forward and shift your body forward as you send your hips toward the ground. Press the mat away from you and gaze forward. On your next exhale, tuck your toes, shift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Release your knees to the mat. Bring your toes to touch. Knees in or to the edges of the mat. Shift your hips back for child's pose. shift forward. The tops of your feet are flat on the mat. Shift your body forward. Drop your hips towards the mat. Your shoulders down and back. On your next exhale, tuck your toes, send your hips up and back. Take an inhale and exhale in this final down dog. Release your knees to the mat and transition onto your back. Your feet are planted firmly on your mat. Knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. Bring your heels back towards your bum. Ground your palms on the mat beside you towards your heels. Take an inhale, press your feet down into the mat, lift your hips up. Exhale, release your hips. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, release them to the mat. Inhale, float your hips up. Exhale, release. Inhale your hips up, really pressing your palms and your feet into the mat. Take a full deep inhale. Exhale, release. Hug your knees into your chest. You can rock from side to side or draw circles with your knees, taking notice of what feels good on your low back. Extend your left leg and hug your right knee in. On your exhale, keeping your knee at about a 90-degree angle, your left hand guides your right knee to the left side of your body. Gaze can be to the left, right, or upward towards the ceiling or sky. Breathe into this supine twist. When you're ready, your left hand assists your right knee back to center and into your chest. Hug both knees into your chest. Take any subtle movements. And then extend your right leg out and hug your left knee into your chest. You can choose to draw circles with your ankle or flex and extend your foot. On your next exhale, allow your right hand to guide your left leg to the right side of your body for supine twist. Come back to your breath. When you're ready, your right hand guides your left leg back to the center of your chest. Hug both knees into your chest, or choose to take a happy baby pose by reaching in between your legs and grabbing the soles of your feet. Your knees are pointing down towards the mat. When you're ready, release your legs. One option here is to extend your legs, lying fully horizontally on your mat. Or if you need more of a release in your low back, you can bring a bend back into your knees, place your feet flat on the mat, and allow your knees to fall in towards each other. Tuck your tailbone under, and we will cool down our bodies by resting here and breathing in this pose. When you're ready, you can roll over to your side. Push yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Option to just randomly smile here. Inhale your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, release them down. Inhale your shoulders up. Exhale, release them down. Take a breath. Bring your hands to heart center. I'm so grateful for you for choosing to practice with me today. If you'd like to see more movement videos, let me know in the comments. Peace.